Howdy everyone, just a quick video about Etape du Tour 2016. Make sure you're on my mailing list for Etape du Tour 2016. There's a link at the bottom of the video in the notes field. So you can find out when the guide comes out there, Etape du Tour survival guide, and a bunch of other stuff comes out. Okay, what's to like and what's not to like about Etape du Tour 2016? Firstly, the course. The course isn't too epic, which is a plus in a way. You want to go to an event like this and have fun riding it. You don't want to be suffering the whole day. In 2010 I did the Tourmalet, L'Etape, and it was horrible. I was cramping all day. I was under condition, but I was cramping all day. It was just horrible. On reflection it seems awesome, but during the ride it was horrible. So you probably won't get that during this ride. It's going to be hard, make no mistake, but not horribly epic. The course itself is really, really pretty. The areas it goes through, like ski resorts and stuff, are just so pretty, especially around Flume. So just the scenery and what you'll see during the ride will be awesome. What's not to like? There's a few things gnawing at me. Firstly is the price. The price has gone up 1/3 since last year. So €75 last year and the years previous for an early bird entry. This year it's €100, so that's a big jump. Doesn't sound, it's only €25, but it's 1/3. It's a big jump. Also, the ASO is doing €1,200. €1,200 is the cost of flights from Australia to Europe. Package that includes accommodation, transport, and some other stuff, and a free water bottle. Now, the base entry, regardless of what entry you got in years previous, you got a water bottle, a kit bag, a bunch of other free stuff, 2 water bottles, whatever it was, and all the food and stuff. But this year it sounds like €100 just gets you the entry, and it's the little things like that that kind of get to me. It sounds a little bit like profiteering. The ASOs realise they're onto a good thing here, and they're really ringing it for all it's worth. Anyway, the €1,200 package, I think you get picked up from the airport, and there's some other transport to and from the start, which is really valuable, and I'll get to that in a second. So there's that, the cost. It's like, that kind of gets to me. I can see why they're doing it, but there's tour operators who do that and do it really well, and it's kind of like they're cashing in a little bit. I could be wrong, that's just what it feels like. Second's the course. There's no epic climbs like the Tourmalet or Alpe d'Huez or Ventoux or anything like that. Make no mistake, the course is hard, and there's 4 tough climbs, but I think I worked out there's maybe about 3,500 metres of climbing, might be a little bit more, but it's by no means this is a really hard Etape, and to me it's not something you can look back in years in the future and go, oh, I did the Orbisque and the Soleure, and, or the Murray Blanc and the Soleure and the Tourmalet in one day, and that was hard. This is just like, there's no nameplate sort of storied alpine climbs in this one. That detracts from it a little bit for me. Secondly is the logistics. This is going to be a nightmare. Like, the start and finish are nowhere near each other. There's no flat way easily to get from the start to finish, so you're going to need team support or do an expensive tour basically, and you're looking at about €1,000, €900. It might be a bit cheap, or maybe as low as 500 depending on who you go to get a combination at the end, to get picked up at the end, because basically you've got the start, the finish is miles away, so you've got the conundrum of you've got to go register, get back, and then at the end of the ride, the next day or whenever it is, you've got your stuff at one end or the other, and then you've got to get back to your car. It's an absolute nightmare. 2009, the Montelena Ventoux stage is exactly the same. We had the official transport shuttles which weren't running or something, which we paid for, and what ended up happening is we parked our camper van at Morzine, at the base of Ventoux. We rode out toward the start. We missed probably 40 k's at the start, which was really, really disappointing, all because the logistics were too hard. So at the end of Ventoux, we rode off the Ventoux to our car, so that was fine. But this is going to be similar. So as far as I see it, you're going to need to bring someone with you who just picks you up at the end, takes you to your accommodation, or brings the car from the start. So you're going to need designated driver or team support, so that's a partner or a friend or something who doesn't ride. It's okay if you live in England, because you can bring someone across pretty cheaply, so that's okay. Or else you're going to have to do a really expensive tour. And when I look at things like that, it all starts to get very, very hard, which is good for me because I can give you my insights, but not so good for you. And it's at that point where I start to think La Marmotte is a bit more attractive, because the start and finish in Bourg-d'Oisans, it's much more attractive basically. So there you have it, Etape Tour 2016. Worth doing still. If I was coming from Australia or New Zealand, I hadn't done one before, I had cash to spend, budget wasn't a concern, I'd do it. I'd maybe do it, use a tour group for the start and finish, logistics and the accommodation and stuff like that. But if I'd done one before, I'd probably give this one a miss and do La Marmotte. to be honest with you. Really, that's an epic ride, and the logistics are much easier. Yeah, so there you have it. Make sure you're on my mailing list, link below, to get all the insights and updates as we get more information about Etape Tour, and as I release the Etape Tour Survival Guide. See you soon.